Hey everybody, I'm Andrew Archie, the head of communications for Steemit, and today I'm here with Frederic from SteemPress, and we're just going to talk about his app. It might sound odd because I work with Steemit, we're behind steemit.com. Why am I talking to somebody behind other apps? But if you've listened to other episodes of our podcast, we do that all the time, and that's because we're the team behind the Steem blockchain. And that's actually what we're most passionate about, is the Steem blockchain protocol. And SteemPress is one of the earliest, one of the most innovative, and I think one of the most important applications in the Steem ecosystem. So we're happy to talk to other teams, get their feedback for development of Steem features, and help get exposure to their application. So I'm just here to talk with Frederic to hear more about what SteemPress is doing right now, what he thinks is important in the Steem ecosystem, and what's going on with his application.
For those who don't know me, my full name is Frederic Ovestad. On Steemit, my name is Frederic AA. I'm the lead business developer and co-founder of SteemPress, which is WordPress to Steem, two-way application and also enabling platform where anyone with a blog that's built on WordPress can basically both post to the Steem blockchain, but also bring unique Steem features back to their blog so that they can take advantage of such features.
Cool. So is there anything you're especially interested in talking about right now, whether it's in the Steem ecosystem or what SteemPress has planned for the future?
Well, it's a really cool time right now because we just launched or released our new roadmap with together with our new growth strategy, which really has been a long time in the making. And we feel that it takes in it brings together so many of the pieces that we found that we're missing for ourselves to succeed. And it also brings together so many of the key value propositions of the Steem blockchain that got me to be interested in and excited about it in the first place. And so more than anything, I'm now also very happy to share the areas where I know that we can benefit from inviting the Steem community to also participate. And frankly, anyone else on the web who believes that we should have a more open, transparent, and inclusive web that people can both be a part of and own a part of. So I'm excited to not only share where we are going now, but also to invite people to come along.
So maybe a good place to start would be in talking about why you chose Steem. What made you want to build your business on the Steem blockchain?
Right. So you actually touched on some of the points there in the intro, which is, it's so cool to have a platform where you care about other applications. And why do we do that? Well, it's because we're all co-owners in the same platform. We all share the same incentives to see that our token value grow and more people coming on board to the platform. And this is like the fundamental idea that got me excited, and everything else follows from there, which is how powerful it is when both users, developers, and businesses all share these common goals. And when I've tried to explain it to people outside of Steem, I've kind of said that, look, it's a win-win. You have Steem is a win for business, for society, and for you. From a business perspective, I mean, before I started on Steem, I was working at the European Space Agency, and before that with innovation clusters around the university and incubators and startup communities in Norway. And at all of these conferences, you're talking about how can open innovation platforms allow big companies to innovate faster and startups to innovate faster. And it all comes back to user-centered innovation and getting user data to understand what are the problems worth solving. And the moment users are the co-owners in the platform, they are there to help you get that information. They are there to help you understand what's the best platform or what's the best product, because they want you to succeed too. And when users are co-owners, it solves so many problems. And from that type of perspective, I'm just thinking that, wow, this is huge also for corporate level strategy, because with the level of transparency that you can have on a blockchain like Steem, where others who sees the problems, sees the bottlenecks, sees the needs of the community members can come up with their own solutions. It's like an inbuilt open innovation program. And so also for users, especially in the social space, how many do you know that feel that their time on social media is mostly wasted or mostly not productive? I feel like when you make users co-owners, they can have a say in how it should further develop, and they can set the incentives to cultivate the environment they want to have on the social web. So when I was seeing all of these things, it just comes together, and I just feel that if you want to take a bet on something, it should solve real world problems, and it should make sense in terms of being something that not only solves big problems, but for many millions of, if not billions of people. And that's just what I believe that we're doing.
Yeah, one of the ways I've been thinking about it lately is that really Steem is skin in the game technology. It's technology that enables organizations to give their users skin in their game, so that now their users, their customers feel like they're invested in the success of the organization, and it does it without incurring the financial and regulatory risks that come along with shares. You can have shares too, you have your shareholders too, and you have your legal relationship with them. But then the question is, how do I take my users, how do I take my customers and make them invested in my success, make thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people in like this infinitely complex system, how do I make them invested? And that's really the technology that we're pioneering here. And so you mentioned your recent, but yeah.
I really think there's been some good, interesting success stories there, or examples there, both for Steem and for SteemPress. I mean, I recently heard or read articles by people saying, this is what you can do to help Steemit make more ad money with your content. And it's like, where else would anyone write that and tell other users, here's how you can help Facebook make more ad money? But people get that, you know, it's in their best interest that Steemit, that develops so much for the blockchain, does well. So they want to help in a way that would never ever happen elsewhere. And the same with SteemPress. When we launched, and we suddenly had hundreds, if not thousands of people joining comment sections and Discord servers to help give feedback and asking if they could help moderate and translate and do these kinds of things, or do customer service, basically. I mean, these things are unheard of. So as I wanted to talk about more, taking this to scale, the same fundamental principles of what you can accomplish with shared incentives is really where I think that we can do something that's, you know, not just a cool product, but that can change the world and really capture a lot of people's attention.
Yeah, and one more example is how developers contribute code to Condenser, which is the app, the software that powers Steemit.com. And so they're actually helping to make the product better. And it's all part of that same mechanism that you mentioned, right? So they feel like they're invested. Where else do you have that? You don't have developers knocking down the door to improve Facebook, but that's also where the open source thing comes in. And I see Steem as really closing the loop on the economic requirements for sustainable open source development, because, you know, open source is great, but eventually the products just die because people aren't being incentivized to contribute to them. And now we see that people will contribute to open source projects if they're incentivized properly through distribution of these tokens. So you recently released a roadmap and growth strategy that I think ties into all of this. You want to talk a bit about what you said in there?
Yeah, sure. So for the past year, of course, we've had an initial user base. They've been fantastic to help us learn quick some of the main obstacles we have to overcome to reach our goals. And some of them have been tough. I mean, we've tried to onboard some quite serious bloggers. Then they may have faced issues with SEO ratings because of canonical links. We've solved that now. maybe they felt that they couldn't really attract all of their users to their blogs because users have to be able to sign up instantly to engage. We've solved that now. And they would often feel that there wasn't clear incentives or very encouraging and clear guidelines for how to correlate good effort with growth. We think we fixed that now. And perhaps the most important thing, we talked about this need for and benefit of user involvement, but I think we all could have done an even better job there, where despite the fact that our users are in fact with us here, maybe we've acted a bit too much, and I think many people can relate to this, like old centralized organizations regardless, and been like, here's our ideas, here's our updates, and then push them instead of involving them in the process. So the big objective here is to bring together these pieces in a concrete growth strategy that people can read, that is public, that invites users to contribute places where not only is it something we can incentivize through our stake, but also something that contributes directly to growing Steem. So we see 4 key areas that basically make out the growth of any platform, which is, what is the level of exposure, aka how many new people do you introduce to Steem? What's the conversion rate of these people into actual users? What's the retention rate of these that stays on the platform? And what's the network effect that they generate by being positive ambassadors and users and making content that reaches other people? So in our new growth strategy, we really pull together everything and in a way that complements each other, and that where we invite people to contribute. So we will, first of all, and depending a bit on when this video is released, it might be out by the time it is out, we will release a new referral program where anyone can have their own referral link, where if you onboard someone who has a blog to SteemPress, you will passively earn 1/10 of what they make through SteemPress, both through benefactor rewards, but also future transactions that of their payments to us through our new paid subscription model. We will then also include all the community projects that we have supported, which is more than 25 in terms of creation projects. We will make as accessible to new users directly on our website, because we believe that users coming in needs to find other communities, not only to receive creation, but also to be seen, to get engagement, to feel that, wow, getting on this blockchain actually helps connect you to these nodes that are people, and so much more. I'm not going to go over everything here because it's a long post, but I really invite people to read it, because I believe firmly that we have something here that can contribute greatly to growing Steem, and I want everyone to really tell me, is there anything I'm missing? Is there any word they can contribute? We're here. We want you.
So what's the ideal outcome of this plan? Where do you think we're going from here?
Right. So you talked about how we now see more and more people come and contribute because they want to. We want to see a platform where people grow and excel because they are just out. They are just there to benefit for their own sake, right? So why is it that a brand like Tesla is so well known in the world, or without having any marketing budget at all? I mean, Elon loves to brag about how they do 0 in marketing. Well, it's because they have a vision that people make their own. They're not out there promoting Tesla for Tesla or Tesla for Elon Musk. They believe what they believe, namely that we need to reduce emissions, electricity is the future, and so forth. So by having this enabling platform that allows communities to excel, and by providing them with all the incentives that are correlating with growth, we really think that that's where rapid growth can start to take place. And again, I think once you nail that, once you really install that culture and provide those opportunities that people share, not because you just incentivize them to do so, but because they want to do it. And when there's no real bottlenecks or barriers for people to come in, aka a tedious sign-up process or confusing and steep learning curve, but instead these things are rather smooth, then I think we're setting us up for success.
Yeah, sounds good to me. So if there's one thing you want anybody listening or watching to do, what would that be?
First, I want to hear from you. What are the number one segment that you would love us to bring more of to Steam? And would you be able to help us find those people? I want to give out the best incentives for you to come help us. I want to know how we can grow Steam together. And so whether you're a Steam stakeholder, curation project runner, or just a general user that loves Steam, I want you to win, and I want us to win together.